Welcome to another Wonderwoods video. I'm getting ready to install this sycamore mantle. It's a nice piece of spalted sycamore. It's going to go right about here, right on this line of brick. And I'm going to be putting it up with two steel rods that I drill here into the mortar and then drill two holes in the back of the mantle to slide right on there. Right now I'm laying out where the holes go to drill into the brick. I'm looking for level, but I'm also looking at the line of the brick to make sure it's level. Hopefully both are level. But I will tell you from doing enough mantles that if it doesn't line up with the brick, it doesn't hardly matter, it looks crooked anyway. So I'm going to drill the hole right here in the grout line between these two right here in the center, and an even amount from this line so the mantle shelf will sit right in here. I started to drill this hole over here with the bigger drill bit. This is the final size hole, but the bit wanted to wander a little bit because of the groove of the grout right here. So I'm going to go to a smaller drill bit so I can start the hole, and then I'll finish up with this bigger one. By the way, this bit is 3/4 of an inch in diameter. The rods are slightly less than 3/4 of an inch in diameter. And when I drill a 3/4 inch hole, it bounces around a little bit. So this hole ends up being a little bit bigger than 3/4 of an inch. So you can see this one here, it fits pretty loose. This one's a little bit tighter. Not quite as much play. So right now I need to cut some shims, put those in there, and get these leveled out. So I stuck both the rods in here, and you'll want to try to get them as level as possible. I will tell you though, the level is not entirely critical, because there's still going to be some play between this and the holes you drill, and you'll still need to futz it a little bit, but basically go for level to start out with. I just use this little level off my combo square just to make sure it's close, which it is. It's pretty close to level. And then just eye up the two across there. Make sure there's not a major twist. They're both pretty close, so this is a good starting point for these rods. Right now I'm going to cut some shims, jam them in the hole to hold these rods in place so that I can start drilling the holes in the mantle. In the past, I have epoxied these rods in, but I've since decided it's not necessary. I put the shims in there, and they make it nice and tight. It doesn't move. And what's really nice about it is after you get these in there, if you decide you want to adjust something, you can take them off, you can pull the shims out, and you can still adjust it depending on how things are fitting. So I like the idea now of not using epoxy to hold these in. Just hit the shims in there, they'll lock in nice, and you're totally adjustable at that point. To shim these in place, I just take some regular store-bought shims, hit them with chisel in a couple spots, and then break them apart so that they're nice and skinny like this. Then you can just jam them in there wherever you need to. On top pushes it down, so it pushes out a level down. Underneath it, obviously, to push it up, side to side, depending on what you need. So what's nice is after you put these in, if you're binding up somewhere, if it's not sitting level, you can take the mantle back off, change your shims, and change the alignment of these. So I'm just going to work on that. I'm going to get them close to place right now, and then drill out the back of the mantle. I'll do one final check across these, just by eye. Make sure they're right in line with each other. So I think these are all in place. Right length, nice and stable. Ready to go. To lay out the holes to drill in the back of the mantle, I'm just going to set it up here. And then move it left to right, make sure it's exactly where I want it. And then just mark under here so I know exactly where the rods are at. I'm getting ready to drill the holes in the back of the sycamore mantle. And I have this drill bit, which came with this little jig. We got these from shepherd brackets. I'm obviously not using a shepherd bracket today, but they still work nice to give you a nice straight hole in the back of this mantle. It is possible you can freehand this. I'd be more willing to freehand it if this was a bigger piece. It's a little more dangerous now since it's not very thick. You could drill out either side if you're not straight. The other option is to, if you have a drill press, the other option is to take the same drill bit, same diameter drill bit, drill through a bigger chunk of wood so you have a nice straight, basically a bushing that you can put on top of here and use it just like a guide like this. In this case, I have this metal bushing, this guide that I'm going to use. So to start, I marked out where the hole's at, and I just put this on there like this. Set it on the hole where I'm going to drill at. So now I know it's exactly where I want it. And I screw that down. And all I got to do is make sure that I drill the right depth. We put some nice fancy foil tape on here to mark the depth. So that's where this foil tape hits that bushing or guide. Will be hopefully about 7.5. So I'm ready to drill. Okay, so I went to fit this mantle, slide it on there, and the two rods are kind of bent in a little bit. That's something I could have checked from the beginning, but I did not. They look pretty good. So it won't slide onto the holes. I need to adjust these rods a little bit, and that's what using the shims allows me to do. So now that I see that it's a little bit off, I can tell that this one's in a little bit. I can open the hole up a little bit if I need to, and then I can shim it on the other side to push it out this way and get everything to line up. So that's what I'm going to do. Now I can put them in there and check the width. Okay, that will make it. Now all I have to do is re-shim it, get them lined back up, take a minute, and it'll fit right in there. Let's try that. Alright, that fits pretty good. Last thing to do is check level. It's pretty good too. So you'll notice that, first of all, I'm done. Second of all, you're going to notice that I'm not going to do anything to secure this any more than what just happened. This mantle won't go anywhere unless you try to do something to remove it. So it can still come off if you'd like to, but also it's not going anywhere. It's nice and stable. stays right there. So if you ever want to change out the mantle, do something to it, you can slide it right off. Obviously you can epoxy it on. You can secure it in multiple ways, but I don't think they're going to come off unless somebody really tries to pull them off. And in that case, that's usually me who has to remove it, and I appreciate it when it comes off. So I'd recommend not gluing them on. So, looks like this job's done. Thanks for watching the video, and we'll see you next time.